Welcome back to Chat Like a Native. You know that feeling when you're trying to speak English, but your brain is just translating
Hmm.
and you get stuck.
Uh-huh. Frozen while the conversation moves on without you. It's super frustrating.
Exactly. Well, today we're tackling that. We've looked at how advanced speakers handle this, and we've got what we call the 6-slot toolbox.
Right. These are tiny, really powerful phrases that help you stop translating and just reply instantly,
Yeah.
confidently.
And we think we can walk you through the essentials, skills, and drills in about 12 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds great. It's honestly the quickest way I know to bridge that gap, from intermediate level to actually sounding fluent.
Okay.
But before we get into all the slots in the toolbox, maybe we could just warm up with one really flexible little word.
Which one?
Just the word well is often used to signal like a gentle change in direction or thought.
Well. Okay. Seems simple, but I guess how you say it matters, right?
Yeah.
The prosody.
Totally critical, yeah. If you use well with the right sound, it tells the listener you're pausing to think, or maybe shifting gears a bit. It's not just dead air.
Gotcha. So, listeners, try this with us. Say well, but let the pitch glide down just a little at the end, and then a tiny pause, like this. Well, yay.
So instead of just, well, I think, which sounds flat, try, well, you, I think we should start. Hear the difference.
Yeah, it buys you a second. Let's try it again. Well, I'm ready now. That little dip.
That's the key. And that brings us straight to the main idea today. The fix for freezing up isn't about trying to speak faster.
Right. It's about using these things you called instant reply triggers.
Exactly. They're short phrases, technically called discourse markers, and they basically organize your speaking.
Okay, discourse markers, so like signposts in your speech.
Pretty much. They help you open, change direction, contrast ideas, check understanding, and wrap things up.
So I know a few phrases for each job, let's say.
Then you stop translating word by word. You just grab the right tool for the job. It becomes more automatic, like English muscle memory.
Okay, I see. But if we're memorizing these triggers, isn't that just another kind of memorization? Instead of translating words, I'm translating intentions into phrases. Does that feel natural?
Good question, but it's different. You're linking the phrase directly to the feeling or the need in the conversation. Like, you feel the need to pause.
Okay.
Slot A fires. That's your buy time slot. Pure defense. These replace the ums and S.
Like what? Give me an example.
Things like off the top of my head. Or maybe, that's a great question. Let me think for a moment.
Okay, I use those sometimes.
Yeah.
And you said the key is the pause after the phrase.
Yes. Crucial. You say the phrase, then a 1 or maybe 2-second silent pause. Silence. No. That silence sounds like you're thinking, like you're in control. Filling it with noise sounds like you're lost.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's buying time. What about organizing my actual thoughts?
Right, that's the other internal tool. Slotty, pivot, and organize. These are your signposts, like first, second, finally.
Or maybe, on the one hand,
On the other hand. Exactly, they give you a structure, like a skeleton for what you want to say. It chunks it down.
which makes it easier, I guess. You say the trigger, then you just need to think of one simple point for that chunk.
Spot on. And keep those points simple. Subject, verb, object, SVO, basic structure.
So instead of some long, complicated sentence.
You could say, first, we need to delay the launch. Pause. Second, we need more data. Pause. Finally, the team needs training. See? Simple, clear.
Okay, let's try this. The 555 box thing. Can you try buying time about your favorite food? Use a trigger pause, then one simple SVO sentence.
Okay, favorite food. Let me see. Pause. I really like pizza.
Good start. Let me see.
Whoa.
It was quick. Now try to make that pause feel really deliberate, like you mean to pause. Try again, maybe about a recent movie you saw.
Okay. A recent movie. That's a good one. Let me think. Pause. I saw that new action film.
Better. Yeah, that pause felt strong. Purposeful. Okay, I'm getting it.
Great. So that's managing your own thoughts. But what about, dealing with the other person, the actual back and forth?
The interaction part.
Yeah, that's where the relational triggers come
Yeah.
in. Managing the flow, showing you're engaged, social fluency.
Okay, so what's slot B?
Slot B is huge. Agree and build. It's not just saying yes. That doesn't add much.
Right.
You want to agree, then add something. Show you're collaborating, like absolutely, and to add to that.
Ooh, I like that. Absolutely. And to add to that, and the sound matters again here.
Yep. Stress the adverb absolutely, then maybe let the pitch drop a little on the add to that part. It sounds smoother, more connected.
Okay, makes sense. What about disagreements? That's always tricky.
Slot C. Disagree politely. So important, especially at work, right? You need ways to state your point without causing a fight.
Definitely. So phrases like, I see your point, however.
Exactly. Think of it like professional negotiation. That opening phrase, I see your point, or I understand where you're coming from, it sort of cushions the blow.
It protects the relationship.
Right. And then you give your reason. But, and this is key, keep the reason short and factual.
Don't launch into a long argument.
No, just the core point. However, the data is from last year. Boom. Done.
Okay. Short and sharp, what's slot D?
Slot D is clarify check. This saves so much time, and it shows you're actually listening.
Instead of guessing what they meant and giving a wrong answer.
Exactly. Just ask. Just to be clear, are you asking about X or Y? Or, so, if I understand correctly, you're saying.
Smart. Okay, and there was one more. F.
Slot F may be the most underrated skill. Close hand over. Knowing how to end your turn.
Ah, avoiding the awkward fade out.
Totally. Stop rambling. Use a closing phrase like, in short, or maybe, so that's my perspective. I'd love to hear your thoughts. It signals you're done and passes the conversational ball.
Okay, that whole toolbox makes a lot of sense. Let's do a quick practice, that substitution drill. On disagreeing politely,
Sure.
I'll say something. You hit back with two different polite disagreement phrases. Ready?
Yep, ready.
Okay, here's the statement. Summer is definitely the best season.
I'm not entirely convinced because I find the heat a bit too much sometimes.
Okay, good. Now use a completely different frame for the same disagreement.
Let's see. With respect, a different view is that autumn has better colors and more comfortable weather.
Nice. Two clear, polite disagreements using different starting points. That's exactly the kind of flexibility we're talking about.
It feels more natural once you have a couple of options ready, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, but where do people usually mess up when they start trying to use these? What are the common pitfalls?
Good question. We see, I'd say, three main ones with intermediate learners.
Okay, number one.
Pitfall one is falling back on those meaningless fillers. Just too much, you know.
Even when they know a trigger phrase.
Sometimes, yeah. The fix. Remember that silent micropause after the trigger? Practice silence. It feels weird at first, but it sounds confident.
Okay, silence instead of Pitfall two.
The markers sound flat. Like they say the right word, however, but it just sounds like, well, like any other word.
The prosody problem again. The meaning isn't carried by the sound.
Exactly. The fix here is to practice exaggerating the stress a little.
Right.
Really hit that key syllable. Not however, but H how W ever.
Not anyway, but A-N-Y way.
Right. Make the function, the contrast, the transition really clear in the sound.
Okay. And the third pitfall.
Number three connects back to slot F, closing.
Right.
Number rambling, not knowing how to stop.
Yeah, the awkward trail off where you just kind of fade out, hoping someone else jumps in.
That's the one. The fix is simple. Force yourself to close. Use a dedicated closing phrase. In short, then one summary sentence. Or ask a question to hand it over. Build that habit. Finish clean.
Makes total sense. Okay, let's do a super quick quiz just to check if everyone's tracking. Listeners, see how you do with these.
Ready when you are.
Question one. You're not quite sure what someone asked. You want to check before answering. Which trigger slot helps you do that?
That would be slot D, the clarify check slot. You'd use something like, if I understand correctly, or could you clarify what you mean by?
Perfect. Question two. When you use a word like however to show contrast, which part do you stress to make the contrast clear?
You gotta stress that first syllable, hey shao W ever. That signals the turn.
Excellent. And question three. Give me one phrase from slot F, the closing slot, that clearly signals you're finished speaking and want the other person to talk.
You could say, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, or even just, what do you think?
Great examples. Okay, it sounds like the key ideas are landing. So let's quickly recap the three most important takeaways from today.
Okay, takeaway one. Fluency is about selection speed. Don't translate words. Focus on your intention, need to agree, need to clarify, and let that trigger the right English phrase automatically.
Number two, use the whole 6-slot toolbox. Don't just learn the buy time ones. You need something ready for agreeing, disagreeing, clarifying, organizing, and closing. Be ready for any conversational move.
And number three, the sound really matters. Practice the rhythm. The pitch changes on markers like well or however. Flat delivery just doesn't do the job. Meaning is in the music, too.
Absolutely. Okay, time for your challenge. Just 60 seconds of practice, but really valuable. We want you to focus on slot F closing, confidently.
Mm.
For the next hour, every time you finish a text message or maybe a short work email, consciously use a closing phrase.
Like what?
Could be, that's basically it from my side, or long story short, followed by your main point, or maybe that covers my points. Just practice sticking the landing.
Yeah, building that reflex to be concise and signal you're done. It stops rambling in its tracks.
Exactly. So keep practicing those triggers, everyone. They really are a shortcut to sounding more fluent and feeling less stuck.
They absolutely are. And next time, we're going to dig into something related. Social fluency. How to choose words that make you sound, warm and engaging, not like a robot.
Ooh, looking forward to that one. Thanks for listening.